A reluctant gift. Winter signaled the arrival of several things for the Fat Controller's engines. The coming of Christmas, the need for more coal to keep warm, and the return of Spamcan.
"Why must I suffer the torture of being here again?" he croaked. "Anyone could deliver these rotten coal trucks. All I want for Christmas is reprieve from this island."
"I'd hardly call doing your work torture," Edward chuckled. "Besides, the best gift is being of service during the holidays."
"I say, Edward," called Gordon, "not neglecting your washout just to converse with Spamcan, are you?"
"Don't worry about me, Gordon. A washout is secondary to our passengers' needs, especially at this time of year."
"Your goody-two-buffers attitude is revolting," Spamcan flounced. "You'd think I'd done something wrong, having to endure this drivel." "You must be on the naughty list, with all that coal you've brought," Gordon chuckled.
Losing patience, Spamcan slipped away to the fuel pump. He'd hoped for a quick exit, but free roads were hard to come by at Christmas. He could have assisted with the workload. Instead, he slunk from siding to siding, sneering and being of no help to anyone. By nightfall, he'd only managed to move from the yard to the station. He eyed Gordon and Edward, preparing their evening trains.
"Stupid steamers," he growled. "I could be halfway across the island before they're even ready."
Having had enough, he scuttled up to the signal box.
"I say, my good man," he called to the signalman, "surely you have a clear path for me?"
"Nope," grunted the signalman, hardly looking up from his levers.
"Oh," Spamcan replied, as sweetly as he could. "I quite understand the weight of your assignment. Why, it's you who ensures everything runs to schedule. Passengers getting home, goods being delivered. Only I'm the engine who must get people and parcels from point A to B. It's only natural. I'm stronger, faster, better, at the very least more handsome than those aging kettles. You wouldn't want to delay an essential engine like me."
"All right! For pity's sake!" the signalman shouted, losing his patience. "Be on your way!" There was a clunk, and the signal showed green.
"A wise decision,"
Spamcan smirked triumphantly.
"Good tidings to you."
With a honk, he shot off into the night. The signalman sighed with relief, not realizing the road he sent Spamcan down was meant for another engine.
"The very nerve of that diesel!" Gordon fumed. "Always knew he was a bad omen. Now he's made me late. Oh, just let me catch him. I'll give him something to grumble about."
"I appreciate your feelings, Gordon," came a stern voice, "but I shall be the one to discipline our visitor." "Yes, sir," Gordon blushed. "You may disagree," the Fat Controller continued, "but this delay is very much a blessing. One of your coaches has a fault in its brakes. We must replace it before you can depart." "Worse and worse," Gordon groaned. "Edward," smiled the Fat Controller, "you will depart first. We cannot delay your passengers as well. 199 has been halted at Crosby. You have a clear run to the junction. Off you go, please." "Cheer up, Gordon," Edward chuckled as the guard's whistle blew. "You'll be making up for lost time soon. I'll warn old Spamcan of the oncoming storm." But Edward soon found he was in no mood to joke. As he hurried down the line, he felt a shortness of breath. When he reached Crosby, he was wheezing dreadfully. Spamcan, sulking in the siding, eyed him with amusement. "That's torn it," Edward's driver scowled as they came to a stop. "You've barely any steam. This is what you get for neglecting your washouts."
I didn't want to disappoint our passengers," Edward gasped. "And how's that going for you?" Spamcan smirked smugly. "You've been no help to anyone," Edward scolded, getting his breath back. "Perhaps you could help me to the junction." "And why would I do that?" "After delaying our evening services, it would be wise for you to do something to get back in the Fat Controller's good graces." Edward's remark had a sobering effect. Spamcan did the smartest thing he'd done all day, and coupled up in front at once. With a disgruntled honk, he forged ahead, dragging Edward and the coaches along. They soon reached Edward's station. A snow-covered Spamcan moved Edward to a siding, while Boko took charge of the train. Edward was most grateful, but didn't get to say a proper thank you. With a green signal showing a clear path home, Spamcan had already hurried away. "Oh, anyone would think I'd gone soft," he grimaced. "Must get home. This railway drives an engine mad." However, his hopes for a fast run were dashed. He hadn't gone far when his engine coughed, choked, and stopped. "What's the matter now?" he winced. "Your air intake is clogged," shivered his driver upon inspection. "Rotten snow. We're sitting ducks now." Spamcan was on the brink of an internal crisis. Was he fated to remain on Sodor? Before his mind could spiral further, he heard a thunderous sound in the distance. Closer and closer it came, until there, slowing as he drew alongside, was Gordon. "It takes a bold engine to delay my express," Gordon hissed. "I found your penchant for misfortune humorous, until it impeded my work. I've half a mind to leave you here and give the children a new snow engine to play with." Though Spamcan held his glare, Gordon's words formed a pit in his engine. "Imagine my surprise," Gordon continued, softening, "at what little Edward told me as I passed his station." Spamcan watched in confusion as Gordon uncoupled from the coaches, crossed over the points, and backed down onto him. What are you?" the diesel faltered. "Can't have you blocking the line. The Fat Controller would never approve," Gordon sniffed. Soon they were rocketing along, the coaches trick-trocking behind them. Both engines were silent, Gordon in concentration, Spamcan in contemplation. Finally, they arrived at the last station on the other railway. Gordon left the coaches and shunted Spamcan to the shed. "Well, well," he smirked as he backed down beside the diesel. "You've finally got your reprieve from our railway, with quite the storied journey." "Yes, well," Spamcan chuckled nervously, "you will keep the details of my extrication and, gratitude hush-hush, won't you?" "Naturally," Gordon replied. Spamcan sighed with relief. "I'll need some sort of leverage when you next return to our island, and you always return, as we know." Gordon snickered himself to sleep. Spamcan stayed awake, shuddering at the thought of his next return.